Hey guys, welcome to Misha Design, and as always to my subscribers, welcome back guys. In today's video, I want to play a little Dr. Frankenstein, and I want to mix designs to create my own unique piece. So I'll be creating a halter, but I want to have this concept mixed in with it. So yeah. And on this channel, I love sharing with you guys tips and tricks on how you can execute an idea. So without any further ado, let's create this Frankenstein look. Boom, boom. All right guys, so let's run through what we're gonna need for this project. Now you're gonna get your hands on a basic t-shirt. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be white. Alright, now I'm using a white because for this concept I want one half to be white and one half to be tie-dye. So I'm using a white. Now if you don't have a white t-shirt or you don't want anything to do with whites, okay, you can use any color t-shirt, and instead of a tie-dyed half, you can actually do a bleach dyed half. And in this video I show you guys how you can bleach dye garments. So you can go ahead, take a look at this video, not only get an idea and some tips on how to bleach dye, but also how to execute this awesome. Alright, once you have your t-shirt, get your hands on your scissors, your fabric scissors, some pins, sewing clips if you have it, something to mark off with. I would recommend you use chalk for this one. Right? Don't use a marker or pencil, something that you can't take off, so use a chalk. In today's video, I'll be using my ruler and also my curved ruler. Now, I'm using my curved ruler because I can't freestyle straight-ish looking lines, so I need assistance. If you are better off than me, and you don't have one of these, then you can go ahead and just freestyle that curved area. I'm also gonna have my measuring tape close at hand just in case I need to take any kind of quick measurements to fix up. And that's it. Now because I'm creating a halter, I'm gonna have to make a particular cut, alright? So with halters, they come up, right? And then you have that string going across and all that, and then it's cut more along the bust. Right, so while the t-shirt is still on me, and I will always recommend that you do this with the t-shirt on you, especially if it's the first time you are cutting anything to create that haltered look. I would recommend you take your measurements on you. You do your markings with the garment on your chalk, and I want you to mark off that cut for the halter. You want to take your chalk, start up at the top, and then you want to come down and kind of just follow the bust area and just draw that line there. Alright, now this is the line I'm going to work with. Alright, so I'm going to take my t-shirt off and start working. Alright, so before I start to cut, I want to kind of just straighten up this curve right here. And as I said, I'm not good with the whole freestyling, so I'm going to use the assistance of my ruler. And I'm just going to follow right. Oh man, I wasn't that badly off. Alright. So I'm just kind of straightening out the top a bit, right, and I'm going to cut. I'm going to go about half an inch away from my mark, and the reason for that is I want to have enough fabric to create my hem. created this cut, I'm going to, let me just take one of my clips because it's opened out here. I'm going to clip this, and what I'm going to do now is fold my t-shirts in half so that I can mirror this cut that I just created. So that I know both sides would be even. I don't. Okay, so I threw the t-shirt over me. I marked for length, right? I'm keeping in mind that I need to make sure that I have enough fabric to work with for seam allowance. And I don't want my halter to reach all the way up to my neck. So I'm just gonna fold this down, right? And I'm gonna have that. So when it's time for me to fit it as a halter, it's gonna snap my side into place, nice and crisp. And the back is not gonna have anything there. So what I'm gonna do is create a nice straight cut going across from right where the cut curves under my arm here. I'm gonna cut away the excess, this excess fabric here, and create one nice straight cut, remembering to leave enough seam allowance so that I can turn in my raw edge. All right, so I'm just going to cut this away, right? Make it flat. And I'm going to continue working on the top, taking in the side here, taking in the side here, and moving forward. Okay, let's cut away the excess to the back. I'm gonna take my ruler, and we're only cutting the back. Alright, and we're going to go right at this point here where the curve stops. Now I am going to go above that because I want to give myself some seam allowance. So you see, this is going to be the back and this is going to be the front. And because I left a little allowance, I can fold in my raw edge and get a nice crisp finish on my seam, on my hem. Alright, and then I'm going to follow through, turn in the raw edge as well on the side of my halter. Alright, now remember I said I need to, so what I'm going to do is also cut away this neck here, cut away the neck, and I'm also going to draw a straight line right along here, right where that curve is. Just I need to get rid of that curved line, that curved neckline. I don't want that. I want a straight line to the front here. There we go. So that I can fold it in and create my area for where my halter string is going to pass through. I'm also going to cut for length, and here's a quick tip. When cutting for length, to make life easier for you and to also make sure that you're getting that straight cut all the way across, all the way through, just fold your piece in half, take your ruler, draw that straight line, take your scissors and make that one cut. And the cut is even shorter, so you don't have to go this one shortcut. Open it out and you have one crisp, clean line all the way through your piece. So I've cut for length, I've cut the front, and I've cut the back. I'm just gonna go to my machine, right? And I'm just going to hem the sides. Now, if you don't want to sew or you don't have a sewing machine, you can always use some good glue and stick your seams in place rather than going to your machine. Alright, so now that I have my side and back area hemmed, the next step is to cut this into half. Now, to make sure that I'm cutting it proper, I'm gonna fold it in half. Just making sure that all areas are lined up proper. Right? And I am just going to make a mark here and a mark up at the top here. So I know, hey, this is the midpoint area. Alright, just going to open this out so I can see my point here and my point up here. So I'm just going to take my ruler . 11, good. Take my chalk and connect my line, my points, right? And then take my scissors and cut along that line. I'm gonna leave this side here alone because this is gonna remain white. And this is the side I'm gonna take and tie-dye. Now again, if you are not using white or any color that could take and you can see the tie-dye colors you have proper, you can do a nice bleach dye. Alright? Now for those that want to do tie-dye, I would be using the Wiki dye for this. And because I am on lockdown, all I have in my stock is, I believe it's a red and a green, a dark green. So, alright, so I have everything prepped and ready. I have my little workstation here for the messiness, right? I have rubber bands. I have 3 colors. It looks like a red, dark green. This is a deep red, like a blood red, green, and I'm assuming this is purple. I can't tell right now. So I have 3 colors to work with. In this bowl right here, I have hot salt water. It's hot salt water because with the Wiki dye, you need salt in the water to help the dye soak into the fabric properly. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm going to go about this. I know it has the fork twist method, but I'm just going to, because it's not a lot of material, so I'm just going to twist it. Right, I'm just going to twist and kind of fit, twist and fit, twist and fit. See, I had my fork right here to do the fork, but it's a small piece of fabric material, you know, so I don't have to do much. Just gonna take a couple of rubber bands. Yes, I have my gloves on as well. I'm not in the mood to have to do any sort of heavy cleaning. I'm just going to take my fork and just mix it, turn it around a bit. Pretty sure that salt already dissolved. And I'm going to take my bundle, my little bundle, literally my little bundle. I'm going to take another rubber band because I am tired of seeing this piece here sticking out. Alright, okay, that's it. Right, and I'm going to dunk it into the salt water, the hot salt water. Gonna use my fork to just press down the material. I want it to really soak up this hot salt water. I want it to really take in that heat so that it can help the dye soak into the material. Okay, I think that should be it. Because again, I'm not working with a big piece of fabric here. Right, that should be it right there. Yes. Yeah. What are you with this hot water thing? Alright. Put this aside. Alright. So I'm going to have to fold this because I used this in one of my last projects and you can see it done start to dirty. So I'm going to go in with some red. I'm assuming again this is my red, and I'm going to, yes, this is my red. Right. I'm going to take some green. That green is. I don't even want that to touch the red too much because like I feel it will make a dirtiness. Alright. I'm assuming this is a purple. So I'm wearing gloves. Gonna just turn it over. See how that's soaked through already? Take some more green. Try and put some green there. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. This is actually my first time properly doing tie-dye. I'm gonna be extremely honest. Right. I'm just going to touch there and touch there. Right, and I am going to leave this to sit for a while. All right. So now that I have my tie-dyed section, I'm going to put them together. I'm going to put the white half and attach it to the tie-dyed half. So you're going to take your pieces right side facing right side, and you are going to connect at the front and at the back. It's a bit rolled up after it got washed and all that, but I will still make it work. So what I'm going to do to make life easier, I'm going to take my sewing clips and I'm just going to clip this in place. Right, so now my areas that need to be stitched to the back, and to the front are in place, I'm going and create a 1-inch stitch. So I'm going 1 inch away from the edge, and I'm going to run a stitch, and I'm going to go in with 2 stitches. So I'm going to double 1, 2. I'm going to go to my machine, run a stitch. Again, if you're not using a sewing machine in this project and you're using glue, go ahead, use that good glue and stick your seams and edges into place. Alright, so here's my top put together so far. I had to do some alterations to the back by taking it in a bit. Alright, it was slack and just drooping down at the back, so I had to do some alterations and take in the back area of my top. What I also did was create a casing to the top area here at the front where the string would be passing through. Now, after creating that casing, I had an idea. Instead of me passing the string through the casing, why don't I use some grommets and create, like, not loops but holes that I could pass the string through instead and just pull it together instead of the casing. So if you have grommets and a grommet toolkit, you can do what I'm going to do here to spice up the top a bit. If you don't have grommets and a grommet toolkit, you can remain with your casing to pass your string through. I decided to cut away the hems from the t-shirt sleeve and from the bottom of the t-shirt to use and just sew it against the hems of my top to give it a nice polished finish. I also took the end of the t-shirt, cut it in half and just pulled it to use as part of my string. So I'm going to put all my finishing touches on my top with all of my grommets and then just fix my string and voila, end results. That's it for now, guys. Till next time, deuces.